Alright, hi guys, the next section is 7.3, the Law of Cosines. So this is the next couple cases when it's two sides and the included angle, so SAS, or three sides are known, so side, side, side. The formula for this one, you notice, is a little bit longer, but the nice thing is, since our restriction for cosine is between 0 and pi, or 0 and 180, you're never going to have that like ambiguous case like we had with law of sines, because a triangle is between 0 and 180. So it's going to take into account every possible angle in the triangle. So sometimes I actually like this one a little bit better, even though the formula is longer, because I don't have to worry about going back and making sure all my angles are accounted for, having different cases or something like that. So just keep that in mind. Just make sure you're lining up angles and sides that are across from each other. Alright, so solve the triangle, so we're finding all missing angles and all missing sides. So I'm going to start with finding C right here. You usually will kind of start with finding the side across from it. If you have side angle side, that's probably the easiest way to do it. And then just working from there. So how I'm going to do this is C squared equals, and again, these three formulas, they're three formulas, but they're really all saying the same thing. Alright, A squared plus B squared. Now it doesn't matter what order I put those in because 4 plus 5 is the same as 5 plus 4. So 2 squared plus 3 squared minus 2, 2, 3. Again, the order doesn't matter. Cosine of 60. Now, that looks like a lot, but all this is a number. So I'm going to type that whole thing in my calculator. All one line, do not split it up, because it's easy to make a mistake. So 2 squared plus 3 squared minus 2, 2, 3, cosine of 60. And you will get 7. So C equals square root of 7, or 2.646. Okay, once you have that, then you can use law of sines. You could also do it again for an angle if you wanted to, but you could use law of sines if you wanted to, because then you have a pair that you can kind of set up a proportion with. So what I'm going to do is sine of 60 over 2.646. Remember, when I type that in my calculator, I'm going to want to use the real whole number. Sine of alpha, or A, over 2. So 2 sine of 60 equals 2.646 sine of A. So 2 sine of 60, and then I'm going to divide that by the 2.646. So sine of A equals 0.65. What is that? 5. Alright, and then to get sine, I'm going to take the inverse of that, and I get 40.893 degrees. Now, since I'm using law of sines here, I am going to go ahead and check to make sure that there's not a second case. So 180 minus 40.893 is 139.107. Again, because remember, there's multiple places where sine can equal 0.655. Alright, so if I were to plug that back into my triangle, and I added 60 degrees, okay, well, that's not going to work. Okay, that's bigger than 180. So this is going to be my only possibility for alpha, or A. Okay, so I have two things done so far, and I need to find my third one, which is beta, or B. Okay, so I'm going to kind of do it the easy way. I know all the angles add up to 180, so I can just do 180 minus 40.893 minus, what was my other angle, 60. (180 minus 40.893 minus 60, and that should give me 79.107. So that is that one. And so if you check that one, so if you have 2, that's across from A. A was 40 degrees, that's the smallest. C, then C is the second smallest, which is 60 degrees, and then B is the biggest, which is 79 degrees. Alright, cool. Next one. Alright, so this is one that has 3 sides. So A, B, and C. So 4, 3, and 6. Okay, so it's going to be set up very similarly. It doesn't matter which one you decide to start with. I'm going to do just the 6 squared. I don't know why, just because that's the biggest. So 3 squared plus 4 squared minus 2, 3, 4. Cosine of C. Okay, and again, all I'm doing is just plugging those numbers in. The order of the 3 and the 4 do not matter. Okay, and the 6 and the C because those are across from each other. Alright, so 36. This one we are going to have to do math because cosine of C is not a number. So 3 squared plus 4 squared is 25. Minus 2 times 3 times 4 is 24. Cosine of C. So I'm going to subtract 36 minus 25 from both sides. And I get 3 squared plus 4 squared. Yes, so I get 11 equals negative 24 cosine of C. Alright, and then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 24. So I get cosine of C equals negative 0.458. Alright, so then I'm going to take the inverse of that. So cosine inverse. And I get C equals 117.28 degrees. And that makes sense. That's my biggest angle, so that is an obtuse angle. Alright, so from there I can use law of sines if I want. And since that's obtuse, I'm not going to have to check for another angle. So, sine of 117.28 over 6 equals sine of B over 3. 3 sine of 117.28 equals 6 sine of B. So I'm just going to divide both sides by, oops, not 3, that should be 6. So sine of B equals 3 sine of 117 divided by 6. So sine of B equals 0.444, and then we're going to take the inverse of that. So B equals 26.384 degrees. Okay, and again, if you did 180 minus that, it would give you also something obtuse, and if you added that to 117, that's not going to work. Alright, so that gives me angle B. So lastly, I just have to find angle C. Okay, so 180 minus 117.28 minus 26.384 gives me 36.336 degrees, and that is angle A. And again, you notice that they go in order. That angle A is the middle guy with 36 degrees with 4. B is the smallest with the 3 and the 26 degrees, and C is the biggest with the 6 and the 117 degrees. So that's a way that you can check yourself. Okay, so that's all of it for law of cosines.